Most people will look at next week's warmer weather and think, finally, summer is showing up. And honestly, I get it. After weeks of grey skies and cold weather, a bit of sun sounds brilliant. But I think there's a bigger reason to pay attention right now. Because as Britain heads into its first proper warmer spell of the season, NOAA has just said that there is now an 82% chance El Nino develops between May and July this year. The Met Office has also said a significant El Nino event appears to be developing. That does not mean Britain is definitely about to be hit by a record-breaking heatwave, but it does mean the wider climate picture is shifting in a direction that can raise the risk of unusual heat, dry spells, water pressure, crop stress, and wider disruption. So this video is not about panicking over one warm Friday, it's about asking a simple question. If this summer turns hotter, drier, or more uncomfortable than expected, what would I wish I had sorted already? Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more UK preparedness and survival content. And let me know in the comments, do you think the UK is actually prepared for hotter summers, or do we still treat heat like a novelty right up until it becomes a problem? Because in this video, I'm going through 10 practical things I'll be getting sorted now, calmly, affordably, and without turning your home into some ridiculous doomsday bunker. 1. Start with water storage. When people hear heatwave preparedness, they often jump straight to gadgets. Fans, cooling towers, air conditioners. But before any of that, I'd be thinking about water. Heat changes how quickly a small inconvenience becomes a real problem. You drink more, children drink more, pets drink more, your water use rises fast. So I'd want a sensible buffer of stored drinking water at home, not an absurd wall of bottles, just enough that if there is a local disruption, if shops get stripped during a scare, or if your tap supply becomes unreliable, you are not instantly forced into a panic run. Stored water buys you time, but storage is only half the problem because once the water you've stored is gone, you need a way to make your setup last longer. 2. Get a proper water filtration setup. Over the past month, I've been buying water filters with my own money because I wanted to improve my own water resilience properly. None of them were sent to me, there was no brand deals attached to it. I've picked up a few different types and I'll probably be doing a comparison between them all in a future video, so comment down below if you want to see that. But the one I want to focus on today is this, the Phoenix Gravity Water Filter. I do like this kind of system because it's simple and it sits on the kitchen worktop. It doesn't need plumbing, it doesn't need electricity. You can fill the top chamber, gravity does its work, and filtered water collects below. This is not a replacement for stored water. If there is no water coming out of the house at all, you still need water stored. But storage plus filtration is a far stronger position than relying on either one alone. I'll leave the exact Phoenix filter I brought linked in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so if you do decide to get one through that link, I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. But as I mentioned, Phoenix did not sponsor this video. I brought the filter myself, and I'm mentioning it because I genuinely think water is one of the smartest areas to strengthen before summer gets properly going. I did reach out to Phoenix, and by the time this video goes live, I may also have a viewer discount code for you. If I do, I'll place it beside the link in the description and in the pinned comments. 3. Have a hydration plan. There's a difference between having water in the house and actually staying well in heat. During cooler weather, you can be careless, you can forget your water bottle, barely drink during the day, and you'll probably be fine. But in serious heat, that catches up with you faster, so I want a simple hydration plan. Refillable bottles, a habit of taking water when I leave the house, and some electrolytes or rehydration support in the cupboard for hot days. Heat problems creep up quietly. You start feeling sluggish, then headachy, then irritable, and suddenly you realize you've been overheating for hours. 4. Make your home harder to overheat. British homes are often built to hold warmth, not get rid of it, which is lovely for February. It is far less lovely for when your upstairs bedroom feels like a greenhouse at midnight. So before the first serious hot spell arrives, I'd look at the house itself. Which rooms get blasted by afternoon sun? Which windows turn the room into an oven? Where is the naturally coolest spot in the home? The basic principle is simple. Stop heat getting in during the day, then release it when the air outside becomes cooler than the air inside the home. People often do the opposite. They leave the sun-facing curtains wide open because the day looks beautiful. Then by evening, the whole room is roasting. 5. Have a cooling plan that still works in a power cut. Now, this is where heat and preparedness start to overlap. If the weather turns seriously hot, electricity demand can rise, fans come out, fridges and freezers work harder, and if you get a local power cut during a hot spell, it feels very different to losing power on a cool spring evening. So I want a cooling plan that does not rely entirely on the mains. Rechargeable fans, charged power banks, and if you have one, a small backup power station for key devices. In a winter blackout, people think of heat and light. In a summer blackout, I'd be thinking about cooling, hydration, communication, and protecting food. A fan may not sound dramatic, but when the house has been absorbing heat all day and you're trying to sleep, a simple working fan can make a huge difference. And if you're currently building out this kind of practical home setup, I put together my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list in the description. I've also got my free blackout checklist in the pinned comments. That is the easiest place to start. And if you want the full UK specific step-by-step prepper survival plan, rather than stitching this together from individual videos, that is exactly why I've created the UK Crisis Readiness System course. There are now over 60 active members inside, and it's generally helping people turn vague worry into a clear plan. But having the right gear is only half the battle, because during a heat wave, one of the biggest mistakes people make happens inside their own kitchen. 6. Think about food that doesn't heat the house. If your house is already hot, the last thing you want to do is run the oven for an hour. So think about foods that are easy to prepare, require little or no cooking, and still feel like a proper meal. Tinned fish, beans, crackers, oat cakes, nut butters, fruit, cold meals you can prep ahead. Simple foods that let you eat without turning the kitchen into a furnace. 7. Protect your fridge and freezer. And if the power goes out during serious heat, one of the first things that quietly starts ticking down in the background, your food. So I check the boring things now. Do you have freezer blocks or ice packs? A thermometer in your fridge or freezer? Do you know which foods you would use first? Is your freezer organized enough that you can keep the door closed rather than rummaging around? Small details like that matter far more than people think. 8. Put basic heat kit in the car. The next mistake is assuming heat problems only happen at home. A lot of hot weather problems happen away from home. Delays, a hotter than expected walk, or a roasting car after a long day. So I'll keep a few basics in the car or travel bag. Water, a refillable bottle, a hat, sun cream, and if you are out with children, older relatives, or a dog, extra water for them too. This is not extreme prepping, it's just avoiding very preventable problems. 9. Think about the people around you. This is one of the most important parts of prepping for heat, and it costs nothing. Who in your life handles heat badly? Parents, grandparents, a neighbor living alone, someone with an existing health issue? Parts of your plan should be humans. Send them a message, make a call, check if they've got water, a fan, curtains closed where needed, and somewhere cooler to sit. A resilient home is good, a resilient little network is better. 10. Prepare before everybody suddenly cares. I don't know exactly what this summer will bring. No honest person can promise that Britain is definitely heading towards a record heat wave. But I do know this. NOAA now says El Nino is likely to emerge soon. The Met Office says a significant event may be developing. The UK is already moving into warmer late May weather, with 26 degrees coming in this Friday. And when heat becomes a headline, people suddenly rush to sort the same basic things all at once. Water, fans, power banks, cooling gear. The simple essentials they could have prepared calmly weeks ago. So my advice is simple. Don't panic, just get ahead of it. Sort your water, sort your filtration, think through cooling. Have food and power options that still make sense in heat, and make sure the people around you are not left struggling quietly with temperatures climbing. Preparedness is not about predicting every headline perfectly, it is about seeing a reasonable risk early enough to become harder to catch out. If this video has been useful, let me know in the comments. What is the one thing you're going to sort before this heat wave arrives? And if you're watching this thinking, I don't just want scattered tips, I want the full plan, then take a look at the UK Crisis Readiness System. That is the complete UK-specific step-by-step system I built to help you go from vaguely concerned to having a calm, realistic readiness plan in place. I'm getting some amazing emails from the members, and this is helping people stop doom scrolling and finally start building something solid. I'll leave that below, along with the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list and the Phoenix Gravity water filter I mentioned earlier. If you gained something from this video, I recommend watching this one next on screen, all about hantavirus and how it's affecting the UK and how to prepare for it. Click it and I'll see you over there.